All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on the Instagram algorithm. And look, if you take away just one thing, let it be this. It is not just about likes anymore. Nope. A much more personal, private kind of interaction is now king. And by the end of this, you're gonna get that shift and you'll know exactly how to play the game. So let's just dive right in.
But here's the thing. To really get where Instagram's going, we gotta look at how it got here. And the whole story really kicks off with one kind of wild question. How on earth did a company that shamelessly copied its single biggest feature from a rival not just get away with it, but go on to absolutely dominate the entire industry?
And that brings us to our first chapter, and the story of how being first just wasn't enough. I mean, this was a massive, high-stakes fight, not just for a cool feature, but really for the future of social media. It was a battle fought over those disappearing stories and for the daily attention of millions of people.
Okay, so what's just mind-blowing about this slide are the raw numbers. When Instagram decided to copy stories, Snapchat was the cool kid on the block, the pioneer, with a very impressive 150 million daily users. But Instagram? It didn't just show up to the party. It showed up with a standing army of 500 million people. It was a numbers game from the very beginning, and Instagram had this massive, almost unfair advantage. Plus, because it was already part of the Facebook world, it came packed with powerful business tools that Snapchat just couldn't compete with at the time.
And this timeline, it just shows you how crazy fast this whole takeover was. It took Instagram just 1 year. That's it, a single year to blow past the very platform it copied. By 2018, the fight was basically over. Instagram didn't just win, it completely took over. But having a huge user base was only half of the story. The other half, well, that was its secret weapon.
And that secret weapon, well, that's what we're diving into right now. We're going inside the machine itself, because Instagram's win wasn't just about a smart business move or having more users, it was about the unbelievably powerful technology humming away behind the scenes.
At the very core of it all is something called a recommender system. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like the ultimate party host. Its one and only job is to figure out who you are and then introduce you to the content you're most likely to hit it off with. All so you have a great time and stay at the party as long as possible.
So how in the world does this party host do its job with millions of people and millions of videos every single second? Well, it's this incredibly fast multi-step process that happens in a flash. First, it grabs a huge pool of thousands of potential posts for you. Then a quick, simple model zaps that list down to just a few hundred. After that, a much more powerful and complex model scrutinizes what's left, ranking them by what it thinks you'll actually watch or share. And finally, it does one last little shuffle for variety before, bam! That one perfect reel lands on your screen. All of that in less than a blink of an eye.
So that's the machine. But what fuels it? Well, it runs on data, specifically signals from you about what you care about. And this brings us to the most important part of this whole explainer, the new rules of reach. What are the signals that actually matter to this algorithm right now in 2026?
And we don't even have to guess. We can go straight to the top. The head of Instagram himself, Adam Mosseri, spelled it out for everyone. The entire game is shifted away from public things like likes towards something way more personal, way more meaningful: private shares.
Okay, so this is probably the most important slide. There are 3 signals that are now way more important than everything else. Number 1, no question, is watch time. How long can you keep someone's eyes on your video? But right after that, you've got 2 different signals for 2 very different things. Sends, or sharing a post in a DM, is now the single most powerful way to reach new people. Likes still matter, for sure, but they're mostly for keeping the followers you already have engaged. Getting that difference, well, it changes everything.
And if you're wondering why the algorithm cares so much about sharing, get ready for this number: 694,000. That is the number of reels sent in a direct message every single minute. That's like the entire city of Boston sending a video to a friend every 60 seconds. It is a massive, undeniable signal of what people actually find valuable.
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. You know, a like is kind of like a polite nod. A save is better. It says, hey, I might want to come back to this. But a DM share, that is a personal recommendation. It's you basically grabbing your friend and saying, you have to see this. And to the algorithm, there's absolutely no signal stronger or more valuable than that.
All right, enough theory, let's get practical. How do you take all this information and actually turn it into a strategy that works? This is your 2026 playbook.
Okay, first things first. You have to master that #1 ranking factor: watch time. And that means you have to nail the hook. Everything, and I really mean everything, is won or lost in those first couple of seconds.
So how long do you have to grab someone before their thumb just keeps on scrolling? Well, the data shows that the decision to stick around or move on is made in just 1.7 seconds. It's pretty brutal, but that's the reality.
So how do you win that 1.7-second fight? You have no time for a slow intro. Start your video right in the middle of the action. Use something called a pattern interrupt, a weird noise, a quick cut, anything to break their scrolling trance. Tell them immediately what they're going to get out of the video. Or just hit them with a bold claim or a question that their brain just can't ignore. All right, tactic 2. We have to start creating content that caters to the algorithm's favorite signal for finding new people. You can't just cross your fingers and hope people share your stuff. You have to actively design it to be shared. Because when someone shares your post, they are literally hand-delivering it to a brand new, perfect viewer for you.
So how do you do that? Well, you can create content that's so relatable it makes someone immediately think, oh my gosh, Sarah needs to see this. You see it all the time. A video about how messy your desk is with the caption, send this to a friend who gets it. Or you can give people tutorials and tips that are so genuinely helpful that sharing it feels like you're doing them a favor. You want to make sharing the most obvious, natural thing to do next.
And finally, let's talk about something that's been around forever but has a whole new set of rules. Hashtags. The old way of thinking about them? Yeah, that's pretty much dead.
So forget about stuffing 30 random hashtags like #love or #Instagram at the end of your post. Today, that just looks like spam, and it actually confuses the algorithm. The new strategy is all about precision. Use just 3 to 5 super specific, super relevant hashtags. It's like you're not trying to cast a giant sloppy net anymore. You're giving the algorithm the exact GPS coordinates to find the perfect audience for your content. So after all of this, the history, the tech, the tactics, what does it all boil down to? What does the Instagram algorithm actually want?
Its goal is brutally simple. Keep people on the app for as long as humanly possible. And the way it does that is by creating a totally personalized, super engaging, and yeah, let's be honest, an addictive feed for every single one of us. It's not some big mystery trying to work against you, it's a tool designed to serve the viewer. And that right there is the key. And all of this leads us to the final and most important question you need to ask yourself. Are you making content for an algorithm, or are you making it for people? Because look, if you focus on making something that a real person finds so interesting they watch it all the way through, and so valuable that they can't help but send it to a friend, then you are by default making exactly what the algorithm is built to find and promote. The secret isn't about tricking the machine, it's about making a real connection with the person on the other side of the screen.